secret now. I see dead people.
Welcome to Blondes and Booze. You are about to embark on a journey, one that often leads to more questions than answers. But fear not, your host, Krista, Aaron, and Brandy have the experience, the perseverance, and yes, even the gifts to pull back the veil and allow us to glimpse the other side. They will share not only their experiences, but will introduce you to world-renowned researchers and experiencers to help you find answers in the murky waters of what we call the paranormal. Their bonds with each other reach far beyond friendship, resulting in a pull no punches approach to the many subjects they explore. Their goal? To open eyes, hearts, and even minds to what lies on the other side, and the answers residing there.
Hey, everybody. Welcome. Welcome.
Hi, guys.
Look at Tex, not even paying attention to us. He's like, wait, what? Oh, I'm on? Chris is like, surprise.
Surprise. Well, we don't have guests tonight. We're all just, sitting here BSing tonight, right?
I was
Go
actually sitting here going, because my co-host reminded me the other day, and y'all know, well, my memory's about as long as something else of mine, but I've got to get y'all's. Evidently, I got to get y'all's intro over to you because I never sent you the new one. So.
Yeah, no, you didn't.
Bad Tex. Bad.
I apologize.
That's all right. We forgive you this one time.
Well,
Yeah, so everybody hanging out with us, guess what? We're getting a new intro.
That works. I'm glad
There's
you guys.
real dramatic music, and then it says, "Go to Texas front porch." Yeah, no.
There you go. I hear you.
That's okay. I'm on that one too. It's okay. I'll still get to talk my head off. That's all fine.
Right.
Well,
Well, we appreciate everybody tuning in tonight. We just, you know what? We're sitting around on a Saturday night. There's nothing to do. It's cold and snowy here. So we're like, me and Brenda are like, hey, let's go live. Okay.
Right. I mean, yeah, the weather's coming in and, who wants to get caught up in that tonight? So this is the best place to be. Nice and warm and talking, everybody.
That's right.
Yep, that's it. So we thought we would talk a little supernatural, paranormal, and cryptid. So if anybody has anything they personally want to talk about, we can absolutely do that. Most of you guys, I know probably everybody knows Tex, but Paul was on last night with us. And once again, he's trying to grow his channel. So I'll drop his link in the chat. If you haven't done so, please subscribe to his channel. And yeah, anyway. That's it. Oh, Tex, thank you for being a new member.
He thought he better.
Yeah, you better, because I'm a member on your page. Just saying.
I thought I was, but it's all right. I'm fixing to make it up to you.
Well, Poncho Zorch, he says, can we talk about farts again? That was fun.
No, I asked about that before we came on, if we're going to do that again tonight.
That was a fun show last night. That was. It was a good show, but yeah. So
Do spirits fart?
What's that, Paul?
Do spirits fart?
Good question. Brandy, Tex, do spirits fart?
You know what? I'm going to go with yes, because I have heard. Now, I don't know if it's a spirit or if it was a critter but I've got something, and the audio's on my channel, folks. Something sounds like it belches.
Really?
And I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It does.
You know, I mean, it is a loud, I mean, it sounds like it's right next to my microphone, and it was not, and I was with two other people, and it wasn't one of us.
Really?
Because if it had been one of us, we'd have called it. We'd have called each other on it.
Yeah.
Right.
You know. So
Right.
plus,
That's when you know they're in good company.
Right.
Well, when you do something like that, when you're recording, you know, I mean, you have to flag it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know.
For sure.
So, but nobody said nothing, and I don't remember it ever happening. I've talked to them; they don't remember it happening, and we didn't hear it at the time.
Okay.
Yeah.
It just came over the recording.
Really?
So evidently, it wasn't a critter. So yeah.
That's interesting.
So
I've
Yeah,
I'm
that
gonna
is
go with
interesting.
yeah.
You know, we've had like, you know, growls and stuff, but nothing, no.
Maybe they were passing gas and we just mistook it as a growl, you know?
There you go.
Maybe that's their stomach not
Could be.
agreeing with them on something, and it just came out the other end.
There you go.
Right.
There you
Something. I mean,
go.
Yeah, so next Tuesday night, I'm going to go live on my channel and talk about paranormal farts. So if anybody wants to join me over there.
There you go. There you go. That's too funny. That's too funny. Thank you, Tex, for the gift, the membership gift.
yeah.
My
Definitely
pleasure.
appreciate that.
Did you
Definitely.
see that Nick got one? Yeah.
Nick was begging for a ride to Alabama the other night, and he's more than welcome to ride up there with me if he wants to.
Uh-oh. Nick, you better jump in.
Yeah.
So,
Head first.
Speaking of Alabama, do you want to talk about that real quick, Tex? I'll put the flyer
Yeah.
out since you're on here. I'll let you do the talking about it instead of Brandy tonight.
absolutely. The Alabama Bigfoot Conference coming in June 7th and 8th. Tickets are $30 online, $35 at the door. We do have vendor spots available. There are only 3 seats, folks, left for the meet. We're calling it the meet and meet, but the meet and greet, you know, the 7th. And what we're going to do, we're all going to go eat at the Western Sizzling. It's a you know, you strap your feed bag on. It's a what do you call it? What do you call it?
Buffet.
A buffet. And what you take it down for? We've got
Let me put it back.
we got the girls. They're talking.
Krista.
The Blondes and Views. We've got Daryl Denton. We've got Martin Groves. We got Greg Ogles. We got Jason McLean and Bigfoot Michigan Rob talking. And then we have the headliner, which is Barton Nunley. The gals have deemed this Texas Front Porch meets Brother of the Wolf. So, and
awesome.
this is the 3rd year that we've been involved in this. I'm Master of Ceremonies. But this is the 3rd year we've been involved in it. And it's of course, it's been put together by Anita Collier, very dear friend. And it's always a hoot. We never fail. Last year we were sitting around with Greg and Adam Davies and
Steve Coles.
Yeah, Steve Coles and Janice and yeah, he got.
We had a great time. It was a blast.
Oh yeah. We drunk called Rob and
We
told him Brandy had the hots for him and.
They were making all this stuff up. People trust me, and I'm sitting there going, "That's okay," because Rob called back, and then he was acting like he was doing a show at the time, and we were on by phone. So don't feel bad for Rob at all. He was doing that.
I guarantee you, folks, if nothing else, we have a good time. We make sure we have a good time. And speaking of good times too, we're going to have a good time in San Antonio in a couple of weeks.
Yep, I can put that one up too. That's going to be a fun one as well. Here's that one.
Yeah, evidently, from what I understand, Jason Hall's had to back out, but he's been replaced by another member of the Ghost Hunters. Yeah,
and it's Sherry Benedetti. Yeah, it's Sherry. And then I think Greg Lawson had to back out.
No, it's Terry Lovelace. Terry Lovelace had to back out. And now we have Dustin Perry going to be there.
Yeah.
And he is also from Ghost Hunters. So
yeah, it'd be fun. Blackburn's going to be there.
Yep. But me and y'all are going to be there, and Jason's going to be with me, and Ryan Edwards will be there, and we'll all be there as vendors. It's going to be a good time. It's going to be a good time.
Absolutely,
it's going to be a great time. We look forward to it, and just the trip alone. Brandy and I have fun road tripping. I think we're going to stop in Fouke, Arkansas, the night before and hang out there, and and then head our way down to Texas on that next day.
Which segues us into April.
Yep.
And yes, it does. Yes, it does.
For that one.
Yeah, the Fouke, Arkansas conference. I'll be speaking at that one. Me and Lyle and or is it Ken?
Ryan Edwards.
Yeah, Ryan Edwards and Ken. Is it Ken or?
No, I don't think it's Ken.
I think it's Lyle at that one.
Okay.
Yeah, it's somebody else too, and I can't remember their name right now, right off the top of my head.
Yeah, and I don't have that flyer handy. I'm sorry.
Hang on a second.
You can look it up.
Chester Moore.
There you go.
Man, I tell you what, if you want to hear an interesting presentation, listen to Chester. I've had him on the show, I think 1 or 2 times.
Mm-hmm.
He's a wealth of knowledge. And I showed him a picture of what we thought was a big black cat, a panther, here in Texas. And he looked at it, but it was kind of odd looking. It was a faraway picture and everything, and it was kind of odd looking. And I said, hey, I got something I want your opinion on, because he runs a freaking zoo. I mean, the boy is knowledgeable. And he looks at it and he goes, oh, that's a black bobcat. That is a phenomenon that is turning up more, is these black bobcats down here for some reason.
Black bobcats.
I've
never heard.
Do you think it might be? Well, do you think it's like a birth defect, or do you think it might be environmental?
I don't know. I do not know. I got a picture the other day. Corey, I don't know if he's in here or not. Corey sent me a picture in Lawton, Oklahoma. They were having a lot of reports of small pets going missing, and somebody caught the culprit, and it's a red wolf. So they have made it down this far south.
Wow. Okay.
So it's just a matter of time for we've thought we've heard wolves up there in Brown Springs. So it's not out of the realm of possibility that we have.
Well, because the last time we were there, we heard them.
Yeah.
And it may have been that. It may have been something else.
Right. So we are getting red wolves back down in this territory. So,
wow. That's crazy. I didn't even know wolves were ever in Texas.
Wolves were all over the place, but they weren't as plentiful down here as they were, further up north. But they were here, and some people say they've always been. Just on rare occasion you see them.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, one of the pictures that he sent me, the thing was trotting through the neighborhood with what looks like a Jack Russell in his teeth.
Oh.
So
Gary says, I've had wolves here all my life.
there you go. See?
Yeah.
But they reinitiated the red wolf population up in northern New Mexico.
Yeah.
And then we went on a family vacation a few years ago and up to Ruidoso. And we got up there, it was close to midnight, and we stepped out of my feet had just hit the ground on the truck, and it was fresh snow on the ground, and we were in a cabin, staying in the cabin, and we pulled up. I stepped out of the truck, and across the valley, I hear, oh, I'm like, oh, hell yeah. Hell yeah. So I was all kinds of excited.
Yeah. Wow.
Well, and that makes sense. I mean, because we've talked about before about in my area, they have released elk and there
Yep.
there wasn't a
Mhm.
mountain lion
Yeah,
population
we do have
here.
elk in Missouri now. Yep.
Yeah, and they did it like 2 years ago, and now we're getting more and more reports of these big cats taking,
Yep.
taking these elk down. So we didn't have any mountain lions in this vicinity until like in the last 6 months, and they've already got 2 reports.
Now
Yeah.
I'll have to argue with you on that because I live down in Thayer, Missouri, which is on the Missouri-Arkansas line, and that was back in 2010, and we had a mountain lion on the property.
Oh, we have nothing over here, hon. We're flat. We're flat. There's nothing.
I
Yeah,
think
there,
we-
it's basically farming and whatever until you start getting north of here. But we're getting them
Yeah.
in this farming area, which runs till about, I want to say, Mountain Home area. It runs all the way across about Mountain Home before it starts to change a little bit, and then goes into that rocky, hilly area.
Well, where I lived was flat too. Thayer's flat.
I think
Yeah.
one of my friends who lives in Fenton, Missouri, which is a suburb just west of St. Louis, they had either a mountain lion or a bobcat.
Yeah.
Like 3 or 4 of them in their yard. Yeah.
That's crazy.
And we
You
had
know, and
coyotes.
bears
in
They
our-
tried to tell us down here for years that, oh, we don't have any big cats down here, as far as mountain lions. We had bobcats all over the place.
Yeah.
But we don't. Everybody was talking about seeing these big cats and the occasional black one, and they kept telling us, "Oh, they're not down here. They're not down here." And then several years ago, there was my sister sent me this picture of somebody that they knew out yonder, not about 6-7 miles from my old home place where I had my dogman encounter,
Mhm.
and it was a big old female mountain lion that was caught on a trail cam dragging off a 10-point buck
Wow.
Wow.
in front of a feeder. Yeah.
Wow.
Wow. We
No,
go ahead, Paul.
I work at a meat shop, and we're one of the few places in St. Louis that take whole deer. Occasionally, we get a call that people have shot an elk and wanted to bring that in to be processed. So I guess they're getting them around here somewhere. So yeah.
Yeah.
I really like the fact that they're letting all these predators come back, and they're even initiating the population in certain areas, because the deer population down here just exploded for a while.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, we all know about the hog problems, and hopefully that will, that will. I don't know if that problem ever be under control, because hogs are so hard to control. They're like lice. I mean, they just breed all the time, But hopefully, when you start wiping out the apex predators in a place, the ecosystem just turns upside down. And
Yeah, it does. It does. Well, they said for a long time Missouri didn't have bear. We've got a lot of bear, and I actually saw a bear down in my daughter lives down in Leesburg, Missouri, which is down by a lot of the cave systems and all that. And I was leaving her house, and probably a mile from her house, a bear. I had 2 cars in front of me, and a bear crossed in front, and we all stopped because you don't see them a whole lot, but
Right.
yeah, it was pretty cool.
Wow.
we've had bear sightings in Brown Springs,
Mm-hmm.
black bears,
Yeah.
and I mean that's just right across from right across the Red River from Texas, so they're in Texas too.
Yeah.
But
Why do you think like these conservations, they deny that these animals are in these areas? Why would they?
I don't know if it's just the afraid that it'll cause a panic, or I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But it's weird, because I would think, they're just not, the cryptids I get,
Yeah.
but the natural animals makes no sense to me.
Right.
Makes no sense.
Yeah. I know. Me either. It makes no sense to me either. Why? I mean, what's the point of denying it?
Yeah.
Especially.
They may be, and it may be part of their preservation effort, because once the word gets out that it's the animals officially in the area, people will start hunting them.
Yeah.
Poachers and such.
Right. Well, now
So that may be.
Missouri actually has you can get a permit to bear hunt here.
Really?
You take a certain amount. Yeah.
I guess we're gonna start getting bears too.
Yeah, you'll probably start getting bears. Have you guys ever ate bear?
I never have. I've heard it's good.
Or- I've heard it's good too, but I've never eaten it.
No.
I do know that bear fat is great for. Well, thank you, Cubs. Appreciate that.
Mhm.
I'm down over 80 pounds, just so y'all know.
Wow, good for you.
Mhm.
Thank you.
It's awesome.
And it's. I pulled this shirt out of the back of the closet. I haven't been able to wear it in probably 5 years. But what was I saying? Y'all got me. Y'all gave me a comment.
We're talking
comment.
about
Bear meat.
bear meat. Yeah,
Yeah,
bear meat.
bear fat. Bear
Bear
fat.
fat, yeah.
It's. I know a lot of people use it for a salve, salve.
Mhm.
Cuts and everything. It's
Hmm.
a great healing thing. So,
Yeah. I don't know. It's interesting. You know what though? I was always one of those that I'm kind of a picky eater. However, I worked up at a livestock market for a long time up in Macon, Missouri, Lolly Brothers Livestock Market. And they raised deer and elk and buffalo
Mhm.
and a lot of the big exotic sales because they would sell like anything weird, everything from camels to hybrid tigers. True story.
Camels.
And they would serve on those sales, they would serve buffalo and elk and deer meat, on those sales. So deer I've tried before because my family is hunters. So I've had deer, but I tried elk and buffalo. And I got to tell you, when I go to a restaurant and they have buffalo, I get it. I love buffalo meat. It's great.
Oh, it's good.
Hmm.
It's
We
really
sell a
good.
lot of bison, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, beefalo is really good
Hmm.
because it's
Yep.
not quite as lean, so you get some of that fat from the beef. But it's I've eaten what some people would consider some strange stuff.
Like what?
Well, let's see. I've eaten armadillo.
Oh,
Um, I've eaten raccoon, squirrel, frog,
I've had squirrel.
duck brain, calf
Duck
brains.
brain?
Uh-huh.
Ugh.
Yeah, and it's a funny story actually. We was at my wife's cousin got married. She married a Vietnamese guy, and they rented out an entire restaurant, and they had like a 5-course meal served. And the same time I ate jellyfish too. That time too, they brought out a tray, an appetizer tray, and it had jellyfish on it. I didn't like it. It's gritty. It's got sand in it. It has no flavor really. But one of the dishes was split roast duck, and I mean they split the head all the way down.
Oh,
yeah.
wow.
And of course the brain was laying there, and I just reached over and stuck my fork in it. It tastes just like chicken liver.
Yeah.
It's exactly what it tastes like.
Oh, no, I can't go there.
But they brought out the funny part is they brought out a beef, like a shredded beef dish,
Mhm.
and I was chowing down and everything, and I had no idea that I popped a Thai pepper in my mouth. I thought it was a piece of beef, and it was game on at that point because I drank, and we were sitting at a table. We probably had 6 or 8 people at it, and most of them we didn't know. And I drank everybody's water, everybody's tea, everybody's soda. I was emptying sugar packs, eating bread. I could not get this crap to cool off. And I love hot stuff. Don't get me wrong, but this set me on fire.
Yeah.
The ushers, of course, they serve their beer room temp, which I'm not a fan of. But the ushers were walking around with 12 packs of Budweiser. I snatched one and grabbed the whole 12-pack, just started downing beers. Man, that lit me up.
Really?
That was the hottest thing I've ever had.
Wow. Wow.
Have you guys ever heard of turduckens?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's a turkey stuffed with duck and chicken, and it's really, really good.
Huh.
So we saw that a lot at Thanksgiving, and it's
it's a turkey with a duck stuffed inside. It's a. Let me get this back. Let me back up. It's a. Let's see. I can't remember what comes first. See the turd duck. Okay, so it's a chicken stuffed into a duck, and that duck stuffed into a turkey.
right. Right.
and then you cook it.
Right.
Huh.
Heard
Okay.
that.
then.
That's very good.
All right.
Pheasant. Yeah, pheasant's really good too. Quail, of course. I love grilled quail. Dove, I really don't see the point because all you get is the breast. And I mean, they're great if you wrap them in bacon and throw them on a campfire, but there just ain't much to them. You got to
Yeah.
spit
In all
out.
fairness, what isn't great wrapped in bacon, though?
Well, this is true.
That's true. That is true. Bacon makes everything better.
You just
Yes, it
had
does.
bacon wrapped artichoke hearts tonight.
Oh, that'd be
Oh,
good.
that sounds really good.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, cool. Well, now that we've talked food and nasty stuff, let's what do you guys think about that mall thing, the aliens?
No.
I didn't look into it.
Hex, we're going to teach you about it. We're going to tell you. Oh,
Now I got to look it up.
well, so on
Here I am.
January 1st, supposedly aliens landed at a mall in Miami, Florida. It was a big to-do. Brandy's researched it a lot more than I have. I watched a couple videos on it. Brandy, what do you know about it?
Well, all I know is that if you actually watch the newscast, you will see that they had video from other people's phones and things about these teenagers. There wasn't just 4, there was many.
Mhm.
And they were vandalizing this outdoor mall, and they were doing all stuff, causing what they were considering a riot or could be riot. So instead of people getting hurt and whatever, so they just called in as if it were an actual riot.
Mhm.
And that's all it is. Because like I said, if it were an alien there, if it were absolutely an alien, you would have seen the military swarming in and just pounce on everything. There wouldn't have been anything local there at all.
Helicopters all over the place.
Exactly. Yeah.
That makes a point.
The airport did not shut down. The telephone service did not go out. It was just, I think somebody took one video and where it came from, I'm not quite sure yet. Maybe somebody's found out by now, but one video with this thing that is questionable, one video, and it looks kind of weird, and they just said it's aliens.
Was that
Well,
the one that
Scott
was on top of the high rise looking down?
Yeah, it was like
Yeah.
looking down at it. And if you look in the back of that video, you can clearly see there's police officers walking right behind it. And you can't tell me they would have been walking behind an alien.
That close.
Right. Right. You know,
Yeah, they
Scott
could,
makes a
man.
good point here. He says, I think it's a setup to get our attention away from something else. Possibly could be.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Or it's just another conspiracy theory. That's,
Yep.
you know,
Oh,
which,
absolutely. Absolutely. I honestly, when it first came out, I didn't really pay much attention to it just because I'm like, yeah, right. Okay.
No.
Why are they going to go to a mall? You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying?
Well,
and yeah. I couldn't understand that either, you know, but my first research is go to the local TV station when somebody says something like that. Because if it were done, there would be people talking because they want to tell everybody about it.
Right.
Somebody would have said something, but there was nothing said. And like I said, they'd already had video that was sent to the television station about all these kids fighting. I saw one video, there's like 20 kids fighting against one person. They were beating up one person.
Yeah.
no, that's brave.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they were having problems anyway at that mall, and that just kind of like sealed the deal.
Yeah.
And you know, we do have to remember it was an outdoor mall, so it's easier for them to scatter.
Mhm.
You know, because like they're like, well, why couldn't you catch them? Cameras. No, this is an outdoor mall, and if you've ever been to one, there's ways to get out all over without being seen. So,
yeah, I
they
watched
can
a video
scatter
today of a guy who I don't even remember the channel's name, but it was a guy who went. It was like in the middle of the night. And was walking through there and did an EVP session. He didn't get nothing. You know, it was like, you know, he couldn't even he was going through the videos of that, you know, been out there on the internet trying to find like these locations in the mall, and nothing was matching, you know. So in other words, a lot of the videos out there were fake too. They weren't even from that mall.
Yeah.
All right, right. Yeah, because there was only the one video from so far away.
Yeah.
That was it. And it turned everyone into this panic. And I'm like, I don't think they would show up there in a mall that is highly populated. I just don't think they'd go out there walking around just one.
I've seen a few other video camera shots from down on street level looking around, but I mean, you could have cameras down low and shooting up and make somebody look 10 feet tall and stuff. And and especially against the light, they'll be blacked out. So yeah, I don't buy it. I don't buy it.
Right. So Bristol makes a good point here. The alien by the stairs was actually 3 officers walking side by side. There's a clearer video of it out there.
Yep.
Saw that too.
Yep.
So it didn't take long for mass hysteria.
Yeah. The only thing that I can say is this about that whole thing. If you see government vehicles, military vehicles, helicopters, other, drones flying around and blah, 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 and you see your local police department pulling out, that's when I would have to start questioning. Yeah.
Right. No, I agree. I think
I know LA Swamp Ape over there in Louisiana, he had some strange stuff going on around his place. And I mean, they were having the blacked out helicopters and the black SUVs show up and supposedly went down and something was shot, but they won't say what. I mean, so yeah, it was.
So I do believe, because I have friends who've been to like the LBL, and then weird vehicles are there, helicopters, Black Hawk helicopters flying over. So I do believe there is a cover up with Bigfoot, dogmen, that kind of thing out there. So what your friend witnessed could possibly be.
It's hard to say. I just think that if it were alien in any aspect, I mean, you might get a glimpse of it, but we're not going to get all this footage.
Our military would be all over it.
It'd be all over it, and everything would be blacked out.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I still think we're going to see.
I'm sorry, and I was going to say. Yeah, I was going to say, Be Kind said it right. She goes, "Why would CNN, NBC, CBS pass up a video that they thought was actually an alien?"
Yep, there's her comment there. Yep, absolutely. Yeah. She's right.
Yeah.
She's right. So, yep. Well, we all debunked it right now.
Yeah, let's do this.
Yeah, do it, Paul.
Wait, I got to turn it. I got to turn it so you can see my foot there. That's what I think about that.
Yeah. That's funny. Yeah.
Which you're doing a new show.
Yes, we are doing a new show. We're doing it Sundays at 5 p.m. Central. It's called Truth or Tinfoil. It's basically the same thing. What we're doing is we're taking pictures and video clips off the internet, and we're going to discuss them and see if in fact they are real, or if they're not, or if we're on the fence. So we did a couple pictures on our last episode, and I was having a hard time debunking them. Could I say that it was actual paranormal activity? No. But could I say it wasn't? No.
Right.
So, and everybody in chat was, doing the same thing, because we were all weighing it out and seeing, what is it about, this picture? And like I said, nobody could say yes or no that it was fake or if it was real. No, it was just that cool.
It takes a lot, people go out and it takes a lot you're not going to get a bunch of evidence every single investigation. You get pictures and things like that. So, it's hard to get that perfect shot, especially ghost.
And with so many digital photo enhancing programs out there, it's so easy to doctor things up and, change the light angle coming in and everything on things to make everything look so real. Unfortunately, we live in a time that's so easy to fake stuff like that.
Yep.
Yeah, it's unfortunately, that makes it almost impossible to trust anything you get.
Yep.
Then if you don't take it yourself,
Mhm.
or you don't know the people very, very well,
Yeah.
yeah, I hate to say it, but you have to take evidence with a grain of salt. You know,
Mhm.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Now we
Absolutely.
do, which is sad because, when I
Yeah.
first started in the paranormal 15 years ago, it wasn't like that. We didn't have all
No.
the CGI and stuff. And,
Mhm.
I don't know. It just wasn't like that. And now I doubt almost every bit of evidence unless it's
Yep.
something Brandy or I myself get.
Yep.
Yeah. I
Yes.
was I was watching a video from a guy over in Australia who was doing a ghost hunt, and he was sitting at a table like this, and he had a big chain around his neck.
Hmm.
And during the middle of their talk or whatever they were doing, the chain fell off on its own,
Yeah.
and they all believed it was paranormal until they went back and looked at it. And he's kind of a bigger dude, and when he sits down, he's always pulling his shirt down.
Uh-huh.
So he made it a point to, after that was aired, go back live or whatever on another show and say, that is debunked. When I do this, this is exactly what happened, and the
Uh-huh.
chain fell off. So, I mean, he was
Right.
able to debunk that, which I thought was very
Yeah.
noble and pretty awesome that he did that.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's what you got to do when you go in and you do paranormal investigating. You got to find a reasonable explanation first. You don't go in
Yeah.
and say, oh, it's immediately paranormal. You
Yeah.
want to try to find a legit reason, for why
Mhm.
things are happening.
Mhm.
So yeah, and like I said, pictures, they're hard to get. They're really hard to get. And Brandy, honestly, she has one of the best paranormal pictures I've ever seen.
Yeah, we're gonna actually talk about that on the show on well, tomorrow. Actually, we're gonna talk about it tomorrow, and we're gonna bring it up, and we're gonna discuss it, because Chris and I have been all over this picture, and because I was so hesitant about putting it anywhere, I went over it with her, and she's like, "You got
Mhm.
something there," and then we had somebody else who is actually quite famous in the paranormal community text me, and he said, "Hey, you got something there." And
Mhm.
then another friend of mine, Terry Mosby, says, "You better copy that and put that in all kinds of different places so you can never lose that picture." She goes,
Yeah.
that is something.
Yeah.
So, which was just, it all happened without me even knowing.
Yeah.
It's
And
like when I,
sometimes that's the best evidence you get.
yeah,
You don't
it
know it
is.
until you go back and look.
Right. Because it just seems like to me that if I'm filming or I have my camera out or whatever I'm doing, and I'm taking all these, videos and stuff, if I see a figure, if I see a mass, whatever I see,
Mhm.
I can't catch it.
Right.
I can't catch it. It's always too fast. I can't see it. Da 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 da. It's when I'm taking those still photos I get my best evidence.
Yeah. It's weird. And that's the thing too. A lot of people don't do. And I guess I'm one of the biggest skeptics out there when it comes to paranormal evidence. I'm not a big believer in orbs. They've got to have substance. Most true orbs have like a tail, because a lot of orbs get misconstrued as, and it's really dust or it's a bug or,
Yes.
something like that. So, it's got to really be quite a picture to woo me. And honestly, your picture did.
It's something. It is something.
Yeah. And honest to God, Brandy knows if I didn't think it was real, I'd tell her, because we have argued on pictures before,
Mhm,
So
mhm.
I'd
It's,
tell her in a heartbeat.
but it's just like, when in doubt, throw it out. Somebody has to put that doubt in your mind to say, hey, somebody might say this about that picture, or somebody might say that about that picture. And then I've got to think, well, yeah, okay, so I'll just throw it out.
And I don't know if he's still in chat, but Nick, if you're still in chat, email me that video, or send me the video of what we caught on thermal, that orb we caught on thermal in Brown Springs.
Yeah, that orb that had the heat signature. Absolutely.
Yeah. Because that one, I ain't got no explanation for.
We don't know. We couldn't see it with our naked eye. All we could see it was through, through, of course, infrared. That's the only way we could see it. We saw that it had a heat signature. That's the only way we saw it, which is strange for an orb to have a heat signature.
Yeah.
So
And to move
weird.
with intelligence, that's another thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was just curious on what Tex was doing. It didn't want to be next to Tex, didn't want to touch Tex. He just wanted to see what Tex was doing. That was it.
Yep.
So that was kind of cool.
What do you guys feel about the collaboration with, some people think, orbs are on ghost side. Some people think they're, some kind of a creature, that's interdimensional. What do you guys believe? Because
I don't really know. And it's kind of a similar story, but when my wife and I got married, my father-in-law died less than a month before our wedding, and there was a lot of orbs in some of the pictures that were taken on our wedding. So, maybe that was him trying to be with us, but
right.
I don't know.
Yeah, could very well be.
Yeah.
It's just it's all. Brandy and I actually did a show on orbs one time, and I'm just real weird when it comes to that. I don't know.
Yeah.
It is very difficult to determine what the orb is.
Yeah.
To me, it's just kind of like, I don't even like trying to film them. I don't even want to. I don't even want to deal with them. Because it's evidence that people can just always say, hey, that's not right. That it could be this or it could be that.
Right.
I mean, it's true.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and that's and I'm sorry I keep going back to the one on thermal. That's one that we.
Mm-hmm. So do you have that picture? We could show it, Tex?
No.
No.
I told Nick to send it to me.
It's a video.
It's a video.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we passed the thermal back and forth between four of us watching this thing, and then they watched me walk towards it, and it moved. It kept the same distance away from me, and then when I moved back, it moved back, keeping the same distance, and went right back to where it was.
Wow! Did you try
maybe
talking
a foot
to it?
off the ground? Maybe. I mean, it was above the grass, and it was just a heat signature, and it was just undulating like a what we call it a bubble in
a lava lamp bubble.
Yeah.
How it would change shape.
Yeah.
So Tex Nick says I emailed you a video to you already on it. So I don't know. He might have emailed it to you.
You'll have to find it.
Well, I know you did earlier, but hell, I can't. You know what? I'm going to bow out. I'm going to go look.
He's going to bow. He's going to go look.
He's going to bow out, and look. He bows out, and look. It's BMR. Oh, he just changed it.
Oh, there he goes.
Just changed it.
Damn it, Rob.
That's funny.
I think Rob does that stuff on purpose.
Yeah.
Now, what do you guys think of that video that was shot in, I guess it was Iraq? It looked like, I don't know if you guys are familiar with Star Wars. I call this the, what do they call it? Imperial probe droid, kind of just floating across the sand. I guess it was a U.S. Army base or something like that. Have you seen that?
I have not.
Oh.
I haven't either. I don't think. Not that particular one. No.
So it looks like some kind of droid kind of object. It may be, well, it's a good size thing, but it kind of, as it's going across the sand, you could see it getting lighter and darker as it's going through other features of the land and stuff. I just don't know what it was, and it looked like, if anybody's out there in chat that knows Star Wars from Empire Strikes Back, the Imperial probe droid, it looked just like that to me, but it didn't. The legs didn't move or anything. It just stayed one.
Well, that makes me wonder if that is a drone of some sort or prototype of something that could have done that. But could you get like a size of it, or was it large, or was it?
Yeah, I couldn't tell if it was up high in the air and it was the airplane was shooting down on it, or where it was coming from. But it may be 10 feet, 6 to 10 feet tall.
Wow.
I guess, I don't know.
Wow.
When you see a dog, it pass a dog, and the dog kind of looked at it. So I
Okay.
mean,
Okay.
it's something. But to me, at times, it almost looked like a speck on the camera.
Okay.
So
Okay.
because I don't know, because it didn't move at all. It just stayed
Yeah.
going across the screen when they were following it too.
Yeah. Well, Moon at Noon said it looked off, somewhat off, like there was
Yeah.
something different,
Yeah.
bizarre about it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Huh. Will you send that video to us?
Yeah. Sure.
Whenever you get it, you don't have to do
Or
it now.
just the
Just
link.
after the show or
I
something.
got to make me a note because I'll forget it in like 10 minutes.
Because I definitely would be curious to see it. So yeah, I don't know. There's just a lot of weirdness out there, you know.
You don't even know what's real and what's not real anymore. I mean,
No, you don't. You don't.
you know, especially when we're talking about the 3-letter agencies and all of that, and their hiding of UFOs or UAPs, and all of this stuff, and
They're hiding it, but yet they do soft disclosures of it.
I know. It's kind of like, we'll give you this much because
Right.
that's all you can handle. And
Right.
yeah, I know.
That's what I'm saying.
So you don't know what to believe. So I think they're creating a panic because they're not releasing the truth about everything. I mean, it's now, okay, so now we know there's aliens, but that's it. That's all we know. So they're creating more of a panic by saying, okay, yeah, there's aliens out there. So now we don't know what to look for. So we're thinking everything's an alien.
Yeah.
And at this point, they've lied to us so much about it. What are they going to do? Oh yeah, we're sorry, we lied to you. We figured you couldn't handle it, but it looks like you can.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So I don't know if they're doing more harm than good, because I mean, they didn't do any good by hiding it.
No.
They're not doing any good by releasing this tidbit of information.
Mm-hmm.
And they're just creating more panic, more uneasiness, because you don't know what you're looking for.
Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean,
Right.
it'd be nice to say, hey, well, the last time we saw one was, this is what we saw, da 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 da. They're whatever, aggressive, or they're harmless, or give us something, so we know what we're dealing with. I just don't like that.
Or tell us, this is how we are making these new anti-radar aircrafts that you see flying in the sky that have no pilots or no crew in it or anything. That's
right.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's the same with Bigfoot. I mean, they're going to deny, but they'll leak little itty bitty things that say, okay, well, this, and then, okay, this, but it's so minute that you'll blink and miss it.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I think that in another 30 years, they're going to say, well, Bigfoot exists. And then that's all we're going to get from that.
Yeah.
I don't think we'll see it in our lifetime.
Well, that depends. That if somebody comes up with some evidence, and I don't know what that would be. I mean, I would think a body. They would have to release something.
See, I believe they already have bodies.
No, I meant that a civilian would have.
Mm-hmm.
But that's where I think civilians have had bodies. I believe that the 3-letter agencies go in and take them from them and make them be quiet. That is my opinion.
Well, I mean, that could be true too. Or we're dealing with people who actually have killed them and then called the wrong people.
Right. Well, that's true.
I mean, if you called the police department, you've done messed up right there.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Looks like Tex, you have your video?
Yep.
Okay. Well, Spirituality Odyssey makes a real good comment real quick. When the military swoops in, they take the bodies. That's
right. That's what I said.
Mm-hmm.
You make one call to your local police department, you've already messed up.
Yeah. And Anna, that'd be great if you could send us that. That'd be awesome. All right, Tex. Show's yours.
Let me know when it's up.
What's that?
Let me know when you got it up there.
Okay. It's up.
Now, this right here, what you're seeing here, these are 2 rabbits. When he did this for comparison.
Okay.
Because we thought it might, and this is me walking towards it.
Okay.
You see that little black dot? That's
That's a rabbit?
nope.
No, that's the orb or whatever right there.
Oh,
See
I
it
see
right
it.
there?
I see it. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
The other ones were he filmed rabbits in thermal so we could compare them.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Does it move?
Yeah. I think I'm going to start walking towards it here in a minute.
Yeah, I think we're talking to you right now about where it's at.
So you couldn't see this. You guys couldn't see it. So it was not illuminated, right?
No,
No.
no. And because it's black, it's got a heat signature. And it's just kind of, well, this, you know,
There.
the video is very difficult to see it, but it
Yeah.
is actually changing shape. As we're looking at it, it is changing shape.
Scott asked if it was on the ground.
It was about maybe 12 inches off the ground, if that.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha. Okay.
And it
But
was
there's
like I
the
said, it
rabbit.
was continually, you know, at first I would think it was a bug or something, but Tex had already walked through those bushes and everything, just knocked everything off of them. And then he'd come back through them again, and it's still stuck with him and
Yeah.
kind of around. And I think that in that video, I think that Nick is kind of following you with it. And so it doesn't look like it's moving because it was absolutely moving as we were watching it.
Well, Nick says
Yeah.
it kept a
Yeah.
perfect distance from Tex.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Because it did. Because everything that didn't have a heat signature was, of
Mhm.
course, white.
Wow.
And you seen the black colors as Tex was moving. And this thing had that. It was strange. It was strange. Just sitting out there doing its little thing.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. Wow. Crazy, crazy.
Yeah.
So Anna just sent me some pictures. So hold on. You guys keep talking. I'm going to download these. It's like something in the sky. I don't know what it is. We'll show those. So give me just a minute. Y'all have your conversation.
Okay. Well, Be Kind asked if any estimation on its size. I would say it was no bigger than the $50.
No, it was about the size of a softball.
You think it was a softball? I didn't think it was a softball.
Yeah.
I didn't think it was that big. Looking from it from this side, I don't
No,
think it
it
was
was
that
a-
big.
Well, thank you,
Thank
Pixie.
you, Paranormal Pixie.
Nice.
Thank you.
And I did get your information, Pixie, so I'll get that in the mail.
I'm trying to think about that for a second.
Yeah, it's like Nick says. He says it's baseball at least. I think it was about softball. So
It just didn't remind me of that when you walk by it, but that's okay. I mean, like I said, we can all look at things and see things differently. That's not a.
Regardless, you saw it. and it
Yeah,
was there.
I did. Yes, I did.
I mean, I wish the video. Of course, how many times did we say this? I wish the video was better. But what are you going to do? You know.
Right.
And no, we could not see it with our naked eye. The only way we could see it was the thermal, and all four of us looked at it through the thermal.
Yes,
And-
we did.
Mm-hmm.
And zooming
So-
in on something from that far out, I don't know how far you guys were when you shot it. I mean, there's no way, if you're hand holding a camera, there's no way you're going to be.
Well, it wasn't even a camera. It was,
Just a thermal imager.
yeah.
yeah, you're
the-
not going to be
the
completely
monocle.
still in that unless it's
So-
sitting still on a tripod. You're not going to.
No, and he's holding it. Like I said, I think he was following text with it, which made it look like it wasn't moving, but it actually, when you stood still, it was moving.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's definitely interesting. I'm almost done with
Which is interesting because it was right before. Was it right before or right after, Brandy, that we saw that figure walk through? That's all I can say because I don't know we don't know what it was.
It was before that because we had gone dark, remember?
Yeah.
And we started going down after that.
Yeah.
So Tex, you have a question here. JD Smooth asked, Tex, did you have any Bigfoot activity at that time of that?
Well, that's what we're talking about. Is me and Brandy saw this dark figure walking through the the woods, and it was at least it was every bit of 8 feet tall, and it was big. But we didn't hear anything. Now, what was weird is we were looking this direction, and we were watching this thing walk, and we saw it at the same time. And we're like, "Do you see that?" And we're like, "Yeah," And Nick and Holly were looking the other way, and they heard something. So it was just really strange. But the acoustics up there, man, I mean, they're just, we had the whole cone of silence thing happen. So the acoustics up there are just really, really strange, really strange.
Wow.
And then that's right before we headed down. And then we got bluff charged by something really big that spooked that armadillo out and everything. So
I remember you guys talking about that.
Yeah.
So all that happened in the space of what, 20, 30 minutes, Randy?
Yeah, because
With the orb to the bluff charge, everything.
Yeah, whatever was in the woods, Nick and I both had our pew-pews drawn.
Yeah.
That's all I got to say about that. That's
right.
What happened.
Gotcha. Well, that's definitely interesting for sure.
You can't go up there, and I've talked to Brandy about this too, and Nick knows this. You cannot go up there if you panic easy.
No,
you can't.
Gotcha. Crazy.
So if you have, honestly, if I've got somebody with me that I don't know, I'd rather them not carry a weapon.
Right.
I'll handle that part of it if I need to.
Right.
But because I just don't. I don't need you shooting something that's going to get us killed.
We need you shooting something that you're just going to make it mad. Okay, we're just going to have a bigger problem.
Right. I got to tell you, folks, and I'm just dumb enough to do this. If one of these critters walks out, I'm not above walking up and trying to shake hands with him. I'm just saying.
So Anna, Jonestead Farms just sent me these pictures. They're kind of interesting. What do you guys make of these? I'm going to show the first one. You guys see that?
That blue streak?
That white cloud? Oh.
Or the...
See, I see the white cloud more than...
She's got another one here. It's the blue streak. What do you guys make of that?
I don't know. That's weird.
I mean, what we're seeing it as blue, but with it could be with the light the way it is. It could be light play. It could be a vapor trail.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I don't know. I wasn't there.
Yeah. I wouldn't know what to call that.
What I think is kind of funny is, and here I'm pointing at my screen like I'm pointing at this, that white cloud in the middle. I mean, everything else is darker.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I was looking at too.
Why is that all white?
Yeah.
It's just out there all by itself.
And you see it up on the top again too.
It's up on the very top of that one.
Yeah. Interesting. Let's go back to the other one. That is weird.
Yeah, because I think that's more interesting than the blue streak myself, like Paul was saying.
Yeah. Interesting. Huh. I don't know.
I mean, it could be a play of light. You're looking at something where the sun is not completely out. So
the blue streak was all across the sky from my front deck. It was weird. That's what she was saying.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That blue streak looks weird. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what could have caused that.
She said blue streak all across the sky from my front deck. It was weird.
Yeah.
And then Cool Hand says maybe it's light filtering through the clouds. Maybe. Who knows? Who knows? It's just kind of weird,
Yeah,
right.
It is one of those strange pictures that.
Right.
Right. I don't know. It's just, I'm telling you, there's a lot of weirdness out there.
You would normally see the vapor from a plane.
Right.
So you would see that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. That was strange.
Who knows? I don't know. All I do know is that every time you go outside of your home, you need to look up and down and all around because it's all over.
Exactly.
Yeah, agreed, 100%.
Yeah.
I got a couple pictures that I'd like to share. I think I told at least Kristen and Brandy about this guy I talked to out in Alaska
Okay.
who was flying by a volcano. I have the name of it here. It was called Mount Shishalden.
Okay.
And it's a recently active volcano.
Mhm.
And this pilot was flying through, and a cloud formation caught his eye, and as he was flying, other regular clouds, changed shape as he flew by, but this one didn't. How do I get it on here? Do I
Okay,
hit this
so
present button?
you
Go
can
down to present.
Okay.
Yep. You have to have the picture up,
Pictures up.
and if you can't, just send it to me and I can put it up too.
Yep.
Okay,
Either way.
I'm gonna send it to you.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine.
Uh,
I don't know. I'm bad. I'm one that, like I said, I've done the ghost thing for so long. When you do ghosts, you don't look up. You look down and all around. You look down because you don't want to trip where you're walking. And I'm bad for looking up.
And that's terrible for us, Krista. I'm going to say this because we know that things like to hang up in corners in the ceiling, and we know this, but you're walking around the dark, you're constantly looking down,
Right.
so you don't trip over
Right.
stuff.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. So I don't know. It's just weird stuff. And
Chris, I sent it to you in Messenger.
okay, I got it. Oh, that is weird.
She's like, oh, that's where we'll show us.
No, that's a picture of me. Stop that.
So yeah, continue talking. I'm going to get these up. So give me a minute.
Like I said, UFOs are totally out of my wheelhouse. I'm
I'm not a UFO guy. I never claimed to be, and word has it that I was abducted. I don't want to be that guy. I do not want to be that guy.
Yeah.
Well,
I do have a
of
missing
course.
time episode, but
Yeah, I find them very, very interesting. I've never seen one. I mean, this is the closest I've ever seen something strange in the sky, which he's going to show us. But
It's definitely weird.
yeah,
Yeah, it's I don't know. I'm new to the UFO thing too, but I kind of like it, honestly.
yeah.
And I had my first little weirdness of what I saw back in July, watching the skies, and that was kind of cool because we seen it looked like a star with like all these other stars that shot off of it. It was just weird. I can't explain it, And before that, I had figured, like a UFO, this saucer thing you would see close, or you would see, this triangle shape, No, I had no idea they look like stars. I learned a lot that day.
Yeah.
that's what I'm waiting for. I'm waiting for a big triangle craft to fly over me at Brown Springs.
Yeah. Okay. So if that happens, then I'll be like, okay.
Yeah. But I'd still be hesitant to call it, aliens, because I know, we don't know a fraction of the technology that we have available to us.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
I
don't know.
According to somebody I talked with at MUFON, so I'm down here in South St. Louis County, and the Mississippi River is maybe 5 miles east of me. There have been a lot of UFO sightings up and down the Mississippi right around there. So I thought of going to some of these places where you can kind of hide and police won't see you hiding on the cliffs, and getting my camera late at night. And now that I say that,
well,
Yeah.
I'm also going to tell you that they've had dogman encounters up in that area too. So be careful.
okay.
They have right there in St. Louis, right along the riverbanks and everything. So yeah.
By
True
Cliff
story.
Cave.
I'm not.
Okay. Maybe
Wow.
Yeah, it's all up and down through there. It's because of the cave systems and all of that running through there that they say that they use that to travel through. Now, whether it be true or not, I don't know, but it is a theory. So
Really?
I'm just saying.
Cool Hand asked, have you guys seen the video, that jellyfish thing floating through the sky, and what's your opinion?
I think
I
this might be what you're talking about. If the pictures that I have on here.
I've got those pictures you sent me. They're ready to go. You want me to put them up?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll show the first one.
So over there on the left, that circle thing, and again, I'm using my cursor circling it. I don't know why I do that. But
Yeah, I
he
see
said
what you're talking.
as he was flying, these clouds around the volcano, they would shift and move and everything. But that circle never changed its shape.
Wow. And then here is this one.
And so
Wow.
the top part that looks like a ball.
Yeah.
I was watching a different TV show called I think Paranormal Caught on Camera, and they showed almost this exact picture, but it was from somebody in England. This is from Alaska, and they thought that it could be some kind of portal.
That's what I was just thinking. I wonder if it
Yeah.
is like a portal or something.
Yeah, but he never saw a spacecraft coming out of it.
So there's that one. Again.
Yeah.
And then there's that one. That's kind of weird.
Yeah.
Wow.
I don't know what to make of that.
No.
I mean, it very well could be portal.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, any other kind of cloud would change its shape as it drifted through or grow or dissolve or what, but that didn't. And he sent me like 20 pictures of it.
Well,
Yeah.
Poncho's got a good point. Skywriting. Who knows?
Could be. Yeah. Bristol says
Yeah.
that I've seen those smoke ring clouds before. Very interesting.
Yeah.
But it's just sitting up there above the cloud line there that they had,
Mhm.
right above that, all by itself,
Yeah.
Mhm.
holding that particular shape.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And King says for some reason it gives out some evil energy to it.
Really?
So, and then Be Kind asked, you said it was Alaska, correct?
Yes. It
Yeah.
was in where did I say?
Well, Cowboy says the Alaska Triangle. I know there. I wonder if it was in that area.
Yep. That's what
it was between. It was between Sandpoint and Dutch Harbor in Alaska.
So I wonder if that's into
I'm not
the.
sure where that's at.
Yeah, I don't know much about Alaska.
Well, Dutch Harbor's where all the ships come out for all the crab fishing.
Okay.
Yeah, but what we're asking is,
Deadliest
does that
catch, that's
fall
where they
within
all
it?
launch from.
Does it fall within that triangle?
Well, hang on, I can find out.
Okay.
Tex is going to Google.
Tex is Googling. Yay, Tex. Google away. I've got all of my equipment running, so I can't Google nothing.
Lots of weirdness there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Alaska is weird. I mean,
Yeah.
shoot,
Well-
if I wanted to be a cryptid or anything, that's where I'd hang out. There's nobody in a lot of that area. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, you could pretty much walk around your whole life and be virtually invisible. Nobody'd ever know you were there.
Mhm.
Right. So Mickey asked, what do you think of those Fresno skinny white walkers? I did kind of see that. I don't know. That was kind of weird. I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm
those
trying to
are
think if I
weird.
saw those.
It could be, could it be alien? Could it be like a skinwalker? I don't know. No idea. It's
If I-
interesting.
Okay,
If
so
I'm thinking-
the points of the Alaskan Triangle
Mhm.
are from Barrow down to Anchorage, over to Juneau, and back up to Barrow.
Okay.
So then it would have
Would
been
be.
there, Paul.
Yeah.
Yep. So it is in the Alaskan Triangle. Okay.
And that's
Well,
where that volcano is too. That he also said he saw something coming out of the side of the volcano as well. That wasn't like an exhaust from the volcano erupting. I don't think it was that.
Well, that makes sense though. That now that, because that's the question when we talked about it before. That was my question. Is it within the triangle? And I forgot to look it up. But
Well,
add me.
Yeah,
I'm gonna just playing devil's advocate here. If it's an active volcano, and you said it was a recent active volcano, it could be a gas that's a different temperature interacting with the atmosphere. I mean, that it spewed out could be anything.
That's true. But you would think that it would change shape at some point because it has to be, of course, light enough to basically float.
Yeah, but how much time did the guy spend seeing it?
It was quite a trip. I'm not sure I don't remember how long he said he was in that area, but he said the best he could do was just take pictures. He couldn't fly the plane and have a camera out the side. So,
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So he wasn't just flying by.
Yeah.
JD Smooth says, do you guys know about the Black Pyramid in Alaska? I do not.
No.
I know of it, but I don't know anything enough. I don't know enough about it to discuss it.
Yeah. There's so much weirdness out there.
We could do show after show after show on Alaska. I am not kidding.
Yeah.
Let's all just do a live show up there. Just go up there and do it.
Yeah, let's just spend weeks up there and just do shows continually and live off grid except for that.
One of the items on my bucket list is to go up there to Port. What is that? Where the Bigfoot ran the whole village off or whatever?
Right. Portlock.
Yeah, Portlock. I want to go up there and spend a week. And I'm not going to go stay out on the water. I'm going to go. I want to stay in the town, in a building or whatever there at night. So,
what do you guys think about that? Do you think that Bigfoot really chased that whole town away?
Everything that I've heard, that is legit. Well, I say everything. I have heard people talk about it being BS story, but you hear that about every story. But I know it's been remote viewed. It's psychics have looked at it, and the even the witnesses have been so.
I guess if you go back to the original story, just bypass this whole show or whatever they had on was it, the Travel Channel. Just forget all of that, because they are again making it for entertainment purposes. And they're just out there to, get their views. But if you go back to the original story and everything that had happened, it sounds like it to me.
Well, I know when Jessica remote viewed it, she said that there was a zone that, or a border that these Bigfoot had put in place, because it was a whole clan, evidently. And it's like we talk about all the time, some clans may be raised and they don't like humans, and some of them do, and that type of thing. Evidently, this clan did not like humans, and they would, if they crossed in their territory, they would kill them and eat them, and that's where all the deaths were coming from.
Yeah,
when they crossed that imaginary border.
They did kill.
What? Yeah. Okay, so they had a fishery there. Is that correct? If I'm
cannery. Yeah.
Oh, a cannery. Okay, so they had the cannery there. They were actually taking their food source, what would be an easy food source for them. So would that tick them off? Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, I mean, you built something in their living room too. I mean, come on,
Right. I mean, one day they weren't there, and the next day they were. I mean,
but I mean, something made that place shut down basically overnight, and shut down that business, and the whole town left.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and didn't they say there's like a paranormal element to it too? Like, I'm going by the TV show.
That's where I would cut that right off, because half the stuff there on the TV show, I'm like, What does that have to do with the original story?
Yeah.
And I hate to say this, but I was very, very disappointed in that show. And it's not the only show. The show I'm talking about is the most recent one they had about it, and where they went and they roamed around the village at night or during the day, and then at night they went and stayed on the boat. And they said it was for safety reasons because of the bears. Okay, I get that. But
Well, I do
get
too.
that,
I get that a lot. Yeah.
well, but there are precautions that you can make, and you have to, is it, that's where you have to have, experienced guides from that area,
Mhm.
And you have to set up bear bells and that type of thing.
Which they had a tracker.
Mhm. They did.
But I was really disappointed that they didn't stay any overnight in the village itself,
Mhm.
because that's where all the activity supposedly takes place.
Well, they said they did.
I don't remember that.
Well, they said they did,
I
but there was
remember
no
when
proof.
when it was
they
getting dark.
said
I
they
remember
did.
them hightailing it to the boat. So
Yeah.
And,
Well,
and you know what? They probably did, because it's TV.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Because they were making their whole little tent and everything on the beach there because they didn't want to be up on the Bigfoot line, as they say, the
Mhm.
I don't know what they were called. I would call it the Bigfoot property line. Let's just go with that.
but see,
They
that's
didn't want
where.
to be too close to that. And
But see, that's where I have an issue,
Mhm.
and it's like all these ghost hunting shows, and these cryptid hunting shows, and everything else. When they run into something that they're looking for, they leave.
Mhm,
Why?
mhm.
You know, because personally, I think, oh well, it's because you just needed to make it look dramatic, and you really didn't find anything.
Yeah.
That's what it leads to.
Exactly.
That's where it leads me. But because if your active area is supposedly right here, and you're staying over here,
Mhm.
what sense does that make? What you're looking for is over here.
Yeah. Well, we know
You know?
people who's done these TV shows. Let's ask them.
Yeah, and I think
We're friends with some of them.
we're probably pretty close to right.
Yeah.
And I get it. It was for safety reasons. I get it, but it was just something that. And I've talked to the guy that did the show.
Mhm.
You know, but it's just I was disappointed. It's just like the Monster Quest episode where they were up in Canada and the cabin got tore apart and all that kind of stuff, and they had all these scientists with them, and they stayed 3 days up there,
Mhm.
and then when they started getting activity, they left. And I called Doug on it, and I said, "What's up with this? Why'd y'all leave? Y'all just." Well, the fact is, they run out they have to fly in there, and if you're not ready to go when they come get you, I mean,
Yeah.
that's a reason. But things happen behind the scenes, and he talked about that on the show.
Mhm.
The other encounters that they had when it was just him and his family up there. So, it's not like they ran off scared,
Mhm.
but it's just,
I don't know. I feel like I would be, you're there for that. So like you said, why would you leave? If you're too
right.
scared, then don't go to begin with.
No, it wasn't Mountain Monsters. I love that show, by the way.
And if you find what you're looking for, then look for something else,
Right.
something more,
Yeah.
you know?
I
So
would say try to study what you found.
Yeah.
There's
You
always
can
more
ask-
information.
You can ask anybody that's been out in the field with me. When it gets hinky, the last thing I'm going to do is leave.
yeah. Yeah, we don't leave either.
It doesn't make any sense to me. But like I said, we're not making TV shows,
No.
No.
So I know they run with a schedule. We
Hmm.
loosely do.
And that's the thing too. Like even like in the paranormal, when Brandy and I go to these locations, we stay there. We sleep there at those locations. We don't leave and go get a hotel room. We stay there. So, and if we were scared, we wouldn't go to begin with.
Yeah, and I know y'all been in some hinky situations,
Yeah.
paranormal wise. You know, well, even cryptid wise here lately, y'all
Yeah.
have. So
It's just I don't know. I feel like, then
bad Donnie, bad Donnie.
what did
I
Donnie
saw that
say?
too.
Oh, Donnie. He's funny. Oh boy. I don't know. JD Smooth said they do know Bigfoot can swim.
Yeah,
Right?
yep.
I was thinking, my goodness. My goodness. I'm like, if I can watch deer swim through the Mississippi,
Yep.
and we know how bad the Mississippi is and how
Mhm.
the undercurrent and everything can kill you quickly. I still saw him do it. I don't recommend it. But if they can do it, I believe Bigfoot, if they had to do it, they could do it in a pinch.
Now I don't think they cross the Red River when it's up as high as what it was when we were up
Well, heck no, with all that hair, why would I want to be soaking wet? No. I'd stay on the high side where it's dry.
Well,
Right.
something got soaking wet and put its muddy paws all over my truck.
True.
Yep.
True.
I don't know if Paul knows about that or not.
Uh-uh.
Why don't you tell him about it? Let's talk about it real quick.
No, nobody wants to hear that.
Yeah. We can always tell Paul later.
We'll save that for a different show.
Well, there you go. You can tell Paul about that on his show.
I'll talk about it on your show.
There you go.
Yeah.
Deal.
Yep.
Because
Deal.
he's got pictures to show the proof.
Yeah.
So and I mean, it's probably the best pictures I've ever seen. So
I gotta agree. It's a good one. Somebody said, I think it was Jason here. He said TV shows are controlled just like mainstream media. No truth to be found there. And that's true.
that's true. That's what I said when we were talking about Port. Like I said, just
For those of you that watched our show the other night with KD Stafford, he's the one that told me like how long that they actually sit there and wait for evidence. TV shows make it seem like these places are just hopping with activity. Well, no, it's not like that. He told us, Brandy and I, a long time ago, like, they go for months, to film these episodes because it's not what people think.
Yeah, or they'll go for a week and then they'll have to go back, again to get more footage because they didn't get what they needed.
Well, I don't think the documentaries came out yet, but the Travel Channel rented the Hill House for 2 months.
Yeah.
Wow.
I did not know that.
Yep.
That's why we couldn't get back in there.
Well, I'll get back in there. You betcha.
Well, I mean at that point.
At that point.
Go,
oh yeah. No. That I mean I haven't seen anything on it yet. I've been waiting. I'm like, come on.
Yeah.
Do you know who they had going through there? Or who was staying there? I don't either. I was just asking.
All I know is the Travel Channel that did
it. Interesting. Well, nobody that I know because I would have heard. I feel like I would have heard anyway.
Yeah, and unless they're on a non-disclosure type of.
That's true.
Yeah, that's true. And I'm sure they are.
Probably. Because if you can't get anything in that house, you might as well just hang up your paranormal career.
Speaking of paranormal, I watched a documentary today, and I was telling Brandy about it before the show. It was it's a house in Brumley, Missouri, which is down around Lake of the Ozarks, if anybody's familiar with it. And it's called the Castle House.
That's where I'm going in July.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm going to send you that documentary.
Okay.
There's a cemetery right in the backyard.
Yep.
There's supposedly they say mass graves, like just a pile of graves, but they think it's actually animals. It was really good. It was a really good documentary, and they got actually some pretty negative stuff in that house.
Really? Huh.
Evidence. I'll send you the video.
All right.
It's good. It was kind of scary.
Who put that video out? It was Paranormal Files, wasn't it?
Paranormal Files.
Yeah. So if anybody's interested about anything about Brumley, Missouri, and the Castle House, go to the Paranormal Files.
They've got a lot of negativity in there too. He's got a room just filled with like haunted artifacts and that have like dark history. A lot of voodoo type stuff that was used in voodoo. A lot of things that was used for exorcisms.
So Paul, do you think that that's a problem when people who have these haunted locations start bringing in haunted or supposable haunted artifacts into that? Do you think that that could cause a problem later on?
I mean, I think that if it's not naturally there, why would you bring it in? You know, I mean,
A lot of them do.
yeah.
They do. A lot do.
I mean, are they doing that to sensationalize it, or are they doing it to conjure up more stuff?
Well, some are collectors, and that's
Mhm.
where they just put it. I mean, they're collectors, so they put it there. Others want to bring in something else,
New.
more active, perhaps something more active.
To make more
Here's the
money
thing,
off
though. If
people
you
coming
watch
there?
that video, that house is absolutely beautiful.
Mhm,
It really is, inside and out.
mhm.
And then he explains it because he does the tour with them. And that's really interesting too. I like the history of stuff. So I like that kind of stuff.
Mhm.
But he said his wife is uncomfortable with having these items out in the house. So it's back in a back room off a bathroom.
It doesn't matter where they are, Krista. We know that.
Yeah.
We know that, but I'm just saying that I guess it makes his wife feel better that it's not in the
Because she
main
can't
part of the
see him.
house. Yeah.
Just can't see him. He'd be better off put it in a glass case and circling it with salt, and have it right out in the open. As far as I'm concerned, have it unprotected, sitting in a corner of the house.
Mhm.
Huh?
Well, they brought other stuff into the Hill House too. I mean, they've got that World War II
Oh.
German helmet that, and all kinds of the dolls and all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, they have dolls and this
They've
house.
even got human bones in that house.
Yeah, they're continually bringing them in too. When I talked to Kathy, she said that she was getting other items and bringing them in.
Right.
So, yeah, I was like, okay.
I don't know.
So
Wow.
when I go back to this house, I may be dealing with something completely different than what I was dealing with the first time.
Right.
Mhm.
Well, anything that I find down there, I will share it with you guys.
Oh,
That's
absolutely.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Watch your back. It's your first.
That'll be
Ghost
my
hunt, isn't
second. The one with you in May
yeah.
will be.
Yep,
the
you're
first
going to come to Ashmore.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
We'll break you in right for that one because that one it's creepy. Ashmore's
Brandy,
a creepy place too. But
I'm still working on my scared face.
We'll find you one eventually.
yeah.
Ashmore Estates is wonderful because you get a lot of activity, but nothing is negative. It is not anything that would totally scare you out of your
kind of
mind.
in that boiler room. That guy down there is kind of crabby.
Hey, he's just crabby though.
Yeah.
He's just crabby. He's down there doing man's work. He don't want women down in his boiler room because women aren't supposed to be down in the boiler room. That's not women's work. So he's got to say something.
Well, it's like we were talking about pictures earlier and stuff. Well, that picture I got talking about boiler rooms, that guy that baked to death in that underneath that boiler that I've got a picture of that's out of Memphis.
Oh.
It's in that window of that hotel room. Y'all remember that one?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. What is it with boilers?
I don't know. I don't know. Wolverine was saying, "Isn't possessing human bones illegal?" No, it's just you have to buy them after the fact.
Yeah.
How should I say? You can't just keep somebody's body and keep the bones. There is a process.
At that house that I was just talking about, they have a real human skull there. He said he bought it from over in England or something.
Well, and then other people we know have an actual skeleton that is made from real bones, but it was used for medical purposes and is now replaced. So yes, you can own them. You just have to purchase them correctly.
Also, the Oddfellows had a body in Kansas City too.
Yeah.
Well, the Hill House, those bones were actually dug up on the property.
Oh wow! Wow.
Yeah, that's what I'm like. I'm just shaking my head. I was like, "Yep."
And I guess there's once the investigation's done and all that type of thing, I guess there's certain clearances that I don't know. All I know is they got. So.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Well, Krista made a good point. She's talking about the Oddfellows and da 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 da. everyone likes to talk about the Illuminati, and they like to talk about the Masons, and get into the Odd Fellows. You want to know something odd and weird? The Odd Fellows are it.
Mm-hmm.
You wouldn't believe that usually everywhere that you can find a Masons, area, you'll find Odd Fellows.
Yep.
You find Illuminati, you'll find Odd Fellows.
So I will tell you that I actually seen the body. The guy, he brought it. It wasn't the body. I correct me. It is the bones. And he had a made coffin. He had gotten it from the old Odd Fellows, and he had brought it to the Ray County Museum.
Mm-hmm.
And we did an event there one night with the public, and he had brought it and displayed it. It was quite interesting.
Yeah, because the Odd Fellows are steeped in super mystery, right down to murders. It's very strange, very strange. And you can look up any chapter you want, and there is a creepy history, guaranteed.
Oh, yeah. They were into a lot of like the Masons, a lot of demonic stuff too.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they were just, to me, I don't know if they were smaller, because I don't know that information,
Mm-hmm.
but I think they were a little more secretive
Mm-hmm.
than the Masons. They weren't as well known as the Masons, but I'm telling you what, the creep
a
factor
secret
is right up
society.
there.
Yeah.
Very
Yeah.
strange.
It is strange. I'm telling you, this is just some weird stuff.
Mhm.
So,
Absolutely.
Speaking of weird
Mickey says,
stuff,
I've never heard of the Odd Fellows. Well, I do remember Mickey saying that she's over right on the Kansas City side, over there on the Kansas side, but it was at the what's that big it's Belvoir Winery where it was taken from, I believe, that body, because that used to be the old Odd Fellows.
Ristel says you had to be a Mason to be an Odd Fellow.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, you got me. All I know is they were creepy people. Just like every story that I've heard. And the funniest thing is that Chris and I have both been to this place called Potosi, and we both investigated Potosi. Mm-hmm. But sitting right next to a little Methodist church that you can investigate, you can go in there and investigate, this little Methodist church sits an Odd Fellows building.
Mm-hmm.
In this little itty bitty place in Potosi, Missouri.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful place. But yeah, it's just there. And I mean, it would be like, I would call it like a 2-bedroom house.
Mm-hmm.
About 1,500 square foot at the very most.
Very most. Yeah.
Yeah. It's strange. It's strange. And you can see it. It's actually chiseled into the stonework. So they were everywhere.
Yeah.
So, and then I started looking around, and I'm like, well, where are the Odd Fellows? And then, you're checking out your town and other towns, and yeah.
I think they were more.
Speaking of your towns and other towns and creepy people, y'all are going to be guests on the first new time slot and live show of Sunday coming up at 8:00.
Yes.
On Infamous Minds, and we're going to talk about the Gypsy Rose case.
That'll be fun.
Yes.
Yep.
That's
an interesting deal. Then we'll talk more about that later. But that's kind of
yeah. That woman.
I've got some pretty strong opinions about it.
Yeah, the mother was definitely mentally ill. That's all I got to say about that. And I don't blame Gypsy for what had happened.
No,
I mean, she could have done
She
could have gone about it other ways, but that's beside the point. We're going to wait until tomorrow to talk about that. But, I mean, it's just kind of like, again, we go back to the point of I'm scared of people more than I am cryptids and ghosts. I'm just flat out.
They're a lot more evil than the other things I ever thought about, man.
Yeah.
Right. But
I don't know. It's just some weird stuff, man. That's all I'm saying.
Well, I kept thinking about other things about, this whole Potosi thing. That whole town is weird.
That whole town is haunted.
The whole town is haunted. Yes, absolutely.
Paul, have you been to Potosi? You're close
Yeah,
by. Now.
I see. I used to go to Piedmont a lot and Potosi a lot when I was a kid. I never, before I was really into this stuff.
Yeah,
But isn't there a prison in Potosi?
there is.
My aunt and uncle had a house on a lake there, like I guess Potosi Lake or whatever, and we'd always tease my mom or whoever that was always escaping from that prison. So,
Oh wow!
All
So the
right.
prison's a little bit. It's more out of town
yeah,
to where we are. We when we go, we investigate more of the downtown, the old part.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it's always been the there's the church and the cemetery. There is help me out, Brandy, the mansion,
Mm-hmm.
which
Is
is
that up
my
on top of a hill?
Yes. Well,
well, not kind of.
kind of. It sits by itself though, right on the corner there.
Yeah,
It's not overlooking like the town, is it?
No.
Okay.
No.
I'm
And
thinking
there's
of
an
it.
old general store there. So they're all like within walking distance it's within 2 blocks. So when we would do these events, we would hold public events at these locations.
Mhm.
And you put on your walking shoes and you walk to each different place. But the mansion was my favorite place. Which one was yours down there, Brandy?
Oh, I believe it was the mansion too. I was out in the graveyard for quite a bit. Didn't get much out there. I didn't get much in the church either. I
Yeah.
totally hate the general store.
Yep, I got choked in there.
Yeah, I don't like the general store at all. It's just a place that makes you feel horrible. I mean, it was giving me headaches and making it hard for me to breathe, kind of like when I had asthma. So
Yeah.
I'm like, I've got to go. I can't even stay in there. So I don't like that place. But the mansion itself is wonderful. And the funniest one I have is they have a bathroom in there, and you go in the front door and then you go to the side and it's their parlor, or what we would call a living room, and then you go into an office and then there's a bathroom. And I'm kind of walking around and I'm going into the bathroom and I hear, "Hey."
Mhm.
I'm like, I'm the only one here. I was the only one in there, in the whole entire mansion at that point. Everybody else was outside. I was in there and it was right there with me going, "Hey." I thought, oh, no, I'm not using this bathroom. Sorry. Thank you. I'll hold it.
I hear you.
So I ended up, because we can basically walk the whole town at nighttime, all through the night.
Yeah.
And so the Casey's is open. So I ended up walking up to the Casey's convenience store and using the bathroom.
Yep.
You
I was
know,
like, no.
later this year, we're planning a trip up to Rio Dosa, and what I'd like to do is Fort Sumter is not far from Rio Dosa, and that's where Billy the Kid broke out. He shot the 2 deputies and everything, and all that kind of stuff. And they still got the whole town basically, and it's a little bitty town. I mean, it's probably 4 blocks long,
Yeah.
but the whole town is the original buildings that's been there, and you can go through that, what they used as a courthouse at that time, where all that took place and all that kind of stuff. What I want to do is at least do an EVP session out there at night. I can't get into buildings, but I could possibly walk around it.
Yeah.
And I wonder, because there was so much violence and everything there in that little town, if
Right.
it's, because the Lincoln Wars basically took place there.
That's really cool. Somebody just asked, and I just started. Wolverine says, "I live in North Virginia. You guys ever do investigations around Civil War sites?"
No.
Randy,
Well,
that would be
yes and
interesting.
no.
I have.
I would love to do it though.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Randy has. He's been up to Gettysburg and everything.
Mm-hmm. Well, I haven't been to Gettysburg. However, here in Missouri, we have a lot of little like skirmish battle sites, and I have investigated several of them, and there's good activity at them. One of them we caught EVPs of cannon fire. That was
Ooh, wow.
Oh, that's cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that was kind of cool. There's another question here too. Cowboy 4572 asks, "Ever been to the Hunter Dawson Mansion in New Madrid, Missouri?" Brandy, that's your area.
Yeah, but no. Let me write that down.
Yeah, I don't know that place. I've never heard of it. So write that down. We'll check into it.
Yeah, that's one I have not paid attention to.
Yeah.
It hasn't gained any notoriety of being haunted, you know, because we've looked everywhere. I promise.
But I will tell you, a lot of these little places that aren't out there, they're the hidden gems for.
They are the hidden gems.
Yep.
Yes, they are.
Yep. So, and Glenn says Wilson's Creek. Yes, I have been to Wilson's Creek, and it is, yeah, it's a haunted, very haunted.
Well, isn't that? Wait a minute. Now I'm thinking the Hunter Dawson is it's a museum, and the last time I had checked, they were not allowing any activity over there, if I am correct.
Yeah, but we could always go as tourists to the museum.
Investigations. They're not allowing investigations in that building. Didn't I want to say Zach Beggins and his crew went over there?
I have no idea. No idea.
It's been a minute. I've slept since then. Got to think about it.
Yeah, I don't watch that show.
No, it was in the news. That's the only reason why I knew. It's not like I watched them. It was actually in the news.
Yeah.
But I'll check it out. I'll definitely check it out.
Yep. I
unfortunately am going to have to say goodnight.
Well, darn. Do you have to work tomorrow?
No, I do not, but I have a grandson that I need to tuck in.
Ah, gotcha. Wow. I understand that.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's true. Kiddos can wear you out.
Yeah,
that's for sure.
Thanks for letting me come on, guys. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, anytime.
And yeah, Paul, get with Brandy and we'll get you on the show.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I'll have you on mine too.
Yeah, just let me know when, brother.
We'll do.
Yeah. Yep.
Y'all take care. God bless, and we'll see y'all tomorrow night.
You too. Stay safe,
see you tomorrow. Thanks, Tex.
Right. See you tomorrow.
Good night, Tex.
Bye, Tex.
Yeah, JD Smooth says something about I got choked. So I've been choked twice doing paranormal investigations, and it's literally you can feel the hands on your neck. You can't catch your breath.
Really,
it's awful. It is an awful, awful feeling not being able to breathe. I'm just saying.
Yeah,
awful. I am looking up that mansion right now.
Okay,
but because it's got me intrigued now because I want to know if it is that one that I'm thinking about.
Well, if it is, maybe we can go as tourists and just have a recorder in our pockets and nobody will ever know, right?
Well, yeah. Turn your phone on.
Exactly. Just walk around. Hi, I'm just checking everything out.
Right.
I will have, a recorder in my pocket or up my sleeve or something.
Oh yeah, heck yeah. There's a place in Herman, Missouri too. There's a big museum and they don't allow the paranormal thing to go on. However, it is very haunted. And we have done that, like taking recorders and just, in the daytime when they're open, we just go through there and
Right.
Yeah. You walk around. Oh, that's me sneezing. Sorry. That's,
Right.
Sorry. I'm talking to myself here.
Well, here's the thing. A lot of these places are so big and they're only run by one person. They're usually stay down at the door, so they can't hear what you're doing upstairs.
Yeah.
At least that's how it was in Herman,
Right. I'm looking at it now and it's saying that it is historical, but yet it's also a park site. So so that is probably a no-go on that one.
Yeah. No, I hear you. So Cowboy 4572 about that place says missing keys for caretakers on one report from staff who stumbled at the top of the stairs and felt a hand in their chest stop their fall. Also had photos from guests show others. Wow. That's really cool that a ghost would help somebody save somebody like that.
Yeah. Right.
That's cool.
Oh, that's sad. Yeah, that's sad. No, unfortunately, if it was historical, we could have probably got in. But since it is under Missouri State Parks, that's a no-go.
Yeah. I don't know.
Dang it. We'll just take the tour. Forget
We'll
it.
just take the tour.
We're just going to take the
Without
tour.
tours.
You can
We
always
like
hide
take
behind
extra
the-
long.
We like the history part, so it's all good.
Exactly. We'll be just extra long in there.
Yeah.
There you go. There you go.
Right.
So, Paul, what made you get into all this weirdness?
You know, I've been watching, TV shows like, Ghost Hunters and all that stuff, for a long, long time. And I've always found it very, very fascinating. And I've always kind of wanted to communicate with the other side and see what all this is like. And then I've always done podcasts about, one topic or another. And
Mm-hmm.
I had a knee replacement in this past January last year. And, I'm just laying there not doing anything. And I said, why not I'll start this one, see what comes of
Right.
this. And it's been fantastic. I've had a blast doing it. And,
Yeah.
now all of a sudden I'm here with you guys, and it's getting better every day. I mean, I keep telling my wife this, I don't know what made me decide to do a paranormal podcast of all things, but I love it. I'm really, really enjoying doing it.
We have truly met the best people doing this. We really have.
I wholeheartedly agree. Yep. Yep.
Like I said, we started out doing the ghost thing, and we were always interested in the cryptid side of things, and now we're really drawn into the cryptids. We're all about it now, aren't we?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, Krista, I think we're winding down here.
Yep. I was just thinking the same thing.
Yep.
Same thing. Well, we appreciate everybody tuning in tonight. It's been fun.
Yeah, it's
Been
fun.
something to do, on a Saturday night. We can all hang out together
On a
and
cold Saturday night.
yes,
Thank
absolutely.
you, Two Shadows. Appreciate it.
Yes, thank you very much. We appreciate you. But yeah, and thank you to Tex for the memberships earlier. Definitely appreciate that. And and thank you to everybody in chat for just sitting here listening to us BS, because we really honestly didn't have a topic to come on here and talk about. We just we like hanging out and like hanging out with you guys, and thought, why not?
Right. And we can't forget Paranormal Pixie. She also gifted some memberships tonight.
Thank you very much, Pixie. I'm sorry about that. I didn't click my starred button. I apologize.
Shame on you. Shame on you.
Yeah, I'm bad. And if everybody would, I have dropped Paul's link in chat. So if you guys would go over and subscribe to him.
Thank you very much.
Hit the bell icon to receive notifications. He's going to start doing some lives. And actually, you actually have, you're going to have Tex on your show.
Yep, I'll have Tex. I got to set that up.
And
Barton Nunley will be gone.
Barton Nunley's going to come on your show.
And I have a couple, another medium's going to come on and do some live readings as well.
Awesome.
Yeah, so it's going to be fun. I want to start kicking it up a little bit more instead of just doing one pre-recorded show a week. Yeah. So I want to get into more lives and
the pre-records are okay, but when we do them, and nothing against Brandy, but it's just me and her. We like interacting with chat.
Yeah, exactly.
They're our friends. We consider them our friends. So it's we like the live shows.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, Chris and I can talk to each other all day if we want to.
Right. She feels the same way about me. She'd rather go live than sit and
let's just go live. Like I said, Chris and I can talk about whatever another time.
Right.
So
and you guys are always more than welcome to come on my show anytime. So
appreciate that.
Yeah.
Same here. So if everybody would go over and check out Paul's channel, and tomorrow night, once again, Texas Front Porch. I think he's doing 8:00.
He's doing 8:00 tomorrow night, and he's doing Infamous Minds, talking about Gypsy Rose Blanchard. And then at 5 p.m. tomorrow evening, Randy Gilbert and myself will be on Truth or Tinfoil, and we can see more of this hat come out tomorrow. So make sure you tune in.
Yep. Absolutely. So anyway, like I said, once again, thank you for everybody tuning in. And you know what? Speaking of Paranormal Pixie, I had told her a while back I'd like to get her on the show, and I'm going to schedule that. So I will be reaching out to you. So anyway, real quick, let's call it a night, and we will see everybody tomorrow. on Texas Front Porch.
Yep.
And Truth or Tinfoil, Brandy would.
Yep. Truth or tinfoil too. Yes.
Yes. So good night, everybody.
Night.
Good night.
Stay safe.